Hello, I'm Tom Hood. I'm here with Michael Brown, who's active in the Texas Society of CPAs and the AICPA. Michael, tell them a little bit about your background.
Hi, I am a CPA, work and live in Waco, Texas. I'm a member of the Board of Directors of the Texas Society of CPAs. I also serve as the chairman of the Young CPAs and Emerging Professionals Committee for the Texas State Society. Last year I participated in the AICPA Leadership Academy, which was a very interesting experience.
So some of this might be familiar, right?
The process certainly is familiar.
The whole insight to action idea. So how did you think it worked? Because you get to look at it from kind of an inside perspective.
It was interesting to see what we covered in over a 3-day process, and I remember a conference room this size that we papered the walls all the way around, whereas here in 3 hours we were able to cover this much. But I think this worked very well. I really like the process. I've been able to incorporate it in my own firm in a committee that I serve on there. And the crowdsourcing concept is great. It really enables you to get full participation from your group and really gets good ideas and really filters it down very well. I've been very impressed with the process.
So reactions today. Tell the folks a little bit about what you saw happen and what you thought were some of the big insights there.
Well, I think it's interesting how we can get from broad conceptual concepts down to narrow actions over a 3-hour period of time with a group of 45 people. I think that's pretty impressive as far as the process goes. One of the things that stood out to me was the fact that the vision, culminating in 2011, how relevant it is to today. And I see that the process that resulted in that vision was obviously a good process because it seems to be relevant today, and I think there are core parts of that vision that certainly are relevant going forward that we can carry forward in the vision to 2025.
Yep.
I liked the idea of taking complexity and simplifying it and communicating it and then acting upon it. To me, that's what the core of that vision is, and I think that's certainly something that can go forward because it only seems that the world we live in becomes more and more complex.
Yeah. How about perspectives from all the folks in the room where you're a young professional? There was a lot of senior professionals, we call them the platinum generation. Did you see differences, or where were commonalities? What were some of the things that came from that?
I think there's certainly commonalities, but I also think it's interesting to get the perspective. There was a student here who, to him, he communicated that diversity is an issue that he takes for granted, that he understands because he's dealt with it in education.
Yeah.
Whereas the people sitting next to him at the table really hadn't thought of that because they haven't had to deal with it in their close realm.
Yeah.
And that so that the different generations can provide opportunities for education and even reverse mentoring in those areas. I found that very interesting.
Yeah, that was a neat concept. Anything? So, did you see anything that stuck out as changes to the vision from this group that you could share?
I think, like I said, I think the core, I think is still very relevant. I think where you get down to possibly competencies in service areas is maybe where the trends emerging today may shape differences in the way that our competencies are communicated, and as far as our service areas are communicated, maybe an increased focus on globalization and increased focus on technology in those areas. And one that really seems to be lacking from the original vision is the idea of scarcity, which of course it was developed in 1998, and scarcity wasn't
an issue.
A big issue at that point, or at least not at the forefront of everybody's minds.
Yeah, I thought the scarcity conversation and collaboration, that was another big one that really resonated with this group and came out, I think, which was kind of neat. So, advice. Should young people care about this, and what should they be doing to help participate?
I think it's absolutely important that young people be involved in this process because this is our future, and we want to be able to have a hand in shaping the future. And I think that's critical. And like John said, you don't want to have it handed to you, you want to help shape it.
So this is an opportunity for young professionals to really weigh in. CPA Horizons on the AICPA website. There's a survey. If you can't come to a forum, there's 8 forums across the country, and then some of the state societies are holding even more future forums in their own state. So look for that at your state society and the AICPA. Michael, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.